What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of CryptoZombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. After our amazing run-up in Bitcoin, recently we have had a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of a cool-off period. Having a look right here, you can actually see we did try to break out of this formation. We got up to 41,300. We have had a slight pullback since then. However, I did say in my previous video that we could be looking for a bit of a pullback, right? We might even correct down to that CME futures gap. However, there is something right now that I do believe, even if the price does happen to fall over the next few days, if this does happen, will be incredibly bullish for Bitcoin. And the bears are most certainly going to probably want to start getting a little bit scared right now if this does play out. I also want to talk about what I'm looking at specifically, how I would be trading this scenario, as well as some very bullish news as far as Bitcoin sentiment, accumulation, asset allocation. So you're going to want to stick around to that till the end of this video. Going to be a little bit quicker today, guys. I do have a lot of things I got to do today, but I wanted to get a video out to you, let you know exactly what I'm looking at. So if you like these kind of updates, smash the like, get subscribed. You guys know the drill. So let's dive in and let's have a super quick overview. So once again, not much has changed since the previous video. I do still like the fact that we are above this level of major resistance, which is sitting at around 37,000. Let's just round it to about $38,000 roughly. That's kind of the area that you want Bitcoin to stay above. Now, we could dip below that. However, having this weekly close, like I said, was very, very bullish, showing that we could be potentially looking to continue this trend upwards. Now, we did have a few, short-term targets where we said we might come up to 55K and come back down like that. We still are going to analyze whether or not we're going to have a lower high overall, but I do anticipate at least some kind of relief for Bitcoin. I do anticipate that we will be putting in probably higher levels by the end of this week. However, we do have this resistance that has been holding us down. We did have this fake out right here. We were unable to maintain above it. So we are still having more resistance pushing us down, which does show me that we could potentially fall even lower. Now, the reason that I've had my eye on a potential $37,000 level is because, number one, we do have this resistance that was holding us down on multiple points right here. Once we broke above it, we have yet to come down and retouch it again. Now, keep in mind, we also have this support moving up here. Do you see right here where we go from here to here? So what I'm actually looking at potentially is to have Bitcoin sort of come down here and meet somewhere where these lines are crossing, which, as I said, is around that $37,000 level. And then I would be looking for a strong bounce back from that level. Now, we might just continue upwards. We may not even go down to those levels. However, in my opinion, I think for a healthier market structure, I personally want to actually see the price come down a little bit. I want to see us flip this previous resistance as support, and then I want to continue. That to me would be a lot healthier. I'd be a lot more confident. If we do just break to the upside and continue going upwards, then there is that fear of an even larger correction potentially looming once we hit that $42,000 level. So that's why I say in the short term, I am kind of thinking it would be better for us to come down here. Now, keep in mind, I don't think we're going to go all the way back down into this blue zone. As of right now, with the change in the market structure, I am going to say that we have put in a bottom for now, okay? As far as what I could see, we did have a bottom down here, in this $30,000, $31,000 region. I am looking for us to potentially have this touchdown again, maybe like I said, come back down to the $37,000 level, bounce up again around 42,000, maybe hit a little bit of resistance here, maybe overshoot it, but then once again, I'd want to come back and have the retest before continuing upwards, right? So this is essentially what we're looking at right now. So, if you take anything away from this video, short-term pullback, not really too freaked out about it. I'm actually kind of hoping it happens. In fact, I'm hoping that we actually come down here and fill this CME futures gap that you could see. In order to close that, we have to go down to 37,750, which really isn't much from where we are right now. I mean, it's only a few $100s. We come down here, we fill it, and then that would actually be very bullish for Bitcoin. Well, it's a little more than a few $100s. It's actually a few $1,000s, but who's keeping track in this volatility, right? But essentially, I do think that that would be healthy for Bitcoin, and that would definitely show that the bulls are in control, and the bears, it's probably time for the bears to go back to hibernation, right? So that is what we're looking at essentially. Now, keep in mind, on the daily, we have had the momentum waves down here moving up, which is actually showing that we do have momentum to the upside, which means that I am actually anticipating a midterm continuation of this bullish trajectory. In other words, I am expecting the price to continue upwards, but obviously not without some turbulence in the middle. And one thing that I'm looking at for confirmation right here, as you guys can see, if you actually look at these waves, you can see they were getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Actually did have an opportunity to put in a very small short right here. I did a scalp short on my trade. I already closed it just because I'm not confident now that we're coming down here. We could end up having a bottom like we did here, where you have this come down and then we go back up, we come down, we have a smaller wave, and then the money flow comes back in and we go up. So what I actually am anticipating is essentially potentially more minor downside maybe over the next day or two, but then I do expect a big bounce and a move of continuation breaking through these resistance, and I do think that $42,000 Bitcoin is next. So if you guys are interested in learning how to trade these, yes, you can make money by longing and shorting as well. And also, if you guys didn't check out, Bybit actually is doing their referral rush right now, so you can actually get first of all, make their first deposit. You can get up to $1,000, etc. And I believe that they're doing 30%. 20% when successfully bringing 2 friends on board, 30% with 3 referrals or more. So if you do have any friends that are using Bybit and you guys do want to get referrals, you can get 30% on that, which is pretty cool. They are doing that for a limited time. Also, if you guys want to use the links below in the description, obviously, you would be helping the channel out. You don't have to. It's all good, but there are a lot of bonuses down there. And if you guys are interested in learning how to trade on Bybit, I do have a tutorial popping up above. Make sure you check that out and make sure that you trade with a paper account if it is your first time, so you can get some practice in, because these markets are very, very volatile. And before we get on to the news section, I just wanted to point out super quick, still a lot of people talking about this death cross. As I've told you guys, the death cross is most likely going to get invalidated, or I think there could be a fake out, where we just see like a little dip under it like that. It is a lagging indicator. The reason that we had this crazy dump is because of the actual price dumping 54%. This is why we had this. Once again, not too concerned about the death cross. So hopefully that covers everything that we're looking at in the charts. So let's talk about what is happening right now. Well, let's talk about number one, market sentiment, and then let's talk about what is actually happening in the background with Grayscale, with institutions, with high net individuals. Are they actually selling their positions, or are they looking to accumulate more at these levels? Well, despite the wider cryptocurrency market experiencing one of its worst crashes in recent memory, investors are apparently more bullish than ever regarding the future of Bitcoin and a host of altcoins. According to results from a Q2 retail, keep in mind, investment survey conducted by Voyager Digital, they surveyed 3,671 people. They were high frequency traders apparently, and out of those, 81% are confident in the price of Bitcoin moving forward. Now, if you want to actually look at some data to back that up, Glassnode, of course, they do on-chain data. You can see that the past few days has seen a lot of volatility return, but for the hodlers, there are few opportunities for profiteering under current circumstances. But this may sound negative on the surface, it's not. Essentially, what is happening right now is if you look at the HODL waves, which is this chart right here, this is an indicator that shows what portion of the Bitcoin supply last moved. And you can see they say, not only are we seeing a decline in very young coins 1 month old due to the recent low on-chain volume, we are also seeing an expanding share of coins aged between 3 months and 12 months old. These are the same HODLed coins that were accumulated through the 2020 to 2021 bull market. So what this is showing us is that the weak hands are selling. A lot of the people that got into crypto recently, they panic sold, and you're seeing the long-term accumulation, the long-term hodlers holding the line, having the diamond hands and not selling. So this is showing that there is a floor. There is a base being built, right? The hodlers are saying, we're not going to sell at this price, right? And eventually what happens when there's no more sellers? Well, then price really can't do anything except go up, right? Grayscale Investment has spread the word that as of Monday, the total assets under management are now at $35.5 billion. Over the weekend, they bought another $2 billion worth, with $1 billion being worth of Bitcoin alone, and the other 50% being an allocation of different altcoins, including Ethereum. We also have billionaire investor hedge fund manager Paul Tudor Jones unveiling that he is increasing his Bitcoin allocation. There actually is a video clip from CNBC, but we don't really need to play it. Essentially, what he said was he started out with about a 2% allocation. He says he likes Bitcoin. He's decided to increase it. He says Bitcoin is math. Math has been around for thousands of years. 2 plus 2 is always going to equal 4, and it will for the next 2,000 years. So I like the idea of investing in something that is reliable, consistent, honest, and 100% certain. So Bitcoin has appealed to me because it's a way for me to invest in certainty. That's a pretty bold statement coming from one of the greatest investors right around. And he says, I like Bitcoin as a portfolio diversifier. The only thing I know for certain is I want to have 5% in gold, 5% in Bitcoin, 5% in cash, and 5% in commodities at this time. Although I do believe if he continues to hodl, that 5% will turn into a lot larger chunk of his portfolio. But interestingly enough, let's move on. Intertrust Global, an intercontinental trust and corporate management company, polled the chief financial officers of 100 hedge funds globally about their intention to purchase crypto assets. Listen to this staggering number. About 98% of them said that they expect their hedge funds to invest around 7.2% of their assets into cryptocurrency by 2026. Now we got guys like Paul Tudor Jones moving from 2% to 5%. Now Intertrust Global does this poll. About 98% of, these guys are looking to invest around 7.2%. So even if they do a 50-50 split, you're still looking at over 3%, 4% just for Bitcoin alone, right? They found that 7.2% investment in the cryptocurrency sector would equal about $312 billion if replicated across the sector. Meanwhile, about 17% of the polled CFOs admitted that their hedge fund could have 10% of their assets allocated to cryptocurrency. So some of them are even going as high as saying 10%. We're seeing, small nations adopting Bitcoin. Yes, we did have a bit of a scare. Yes, there is that potential that we could have a little bit more of a down, a little bit of down bounce, like I said, around the $37,000 area. But ultimately, it's not looking fundamentally bearish for Bitcoin. It's only looking bullish. Recently, I don't know if you've been paying attention, guys, but also Taproot got locked in. Lightning Network development has actually really ramped up, which is pretty amazing. Lots of layer 2. I even saw a layer 3. I don't even know if that's like a thing or not, but some people were talking about layer 3s. So there's a lot happening in the background. This is not really the time really to be getting bearish. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we did have that pullback, but you have to take it with a grain of salt. It is crypto, guys. It's volatile. It's not like we haven't seen these crazy double-digit corrections before. And Michael Saylor, he is looking to purchase more Bitcoin with MicroStrategy as well. I think he just wants to get 100,000 Bitcoin. I think that's his goal. And, a lot of people think, Saylor's a Bitcoin maximalist. Some people have called me a Bitcoin maximalist. Guys, at the end of the day, my goal is to accumulate more Bitcoin, but I'm very open-minded when it comes to these other cryptocurrencies. I definitely see the value in Ethereum. I definitely understand what some of these, altcoins are trying to do, although I do think most of them don't actually need a token. Just going to be honest. But hey, you could still speculate and make money off of it. But the point I'm trying to make is that even Michael Saylor himself, in a recent interview with CNBC, he was talking about Ethereum, and he actually called the network behind Ethereum a digital application that wants to dematerialize the JP Morgan building, the banking establishment, and all of the exchanges. He said that there is a place for Ethereum and its blockchain and its native cryptocurrency, and he also said that stablecoins have a place as well. And the only reason that I'm bringing this up is because I know people kind of flip-flop on their bullishness. One day Ethereum's going to flip Bitcoin, next day Ethereum's a piece of crap, right? Everybody's changing their opinion every day. But I do just want to point out that Goldman Sachs is looking beyond Bitcoin for their crypto offerings. Bloomberg reported that the investment bank plans to offer ETH options and futures in the next few months. The move into Ethereum is another sign of Goldman's embrace of the cryptocurrency space following last month's announcement that it would reopen its crypto trading desk. The bank currently uses its desk to offer Bitcoin products to its clients currently. So that's essentially what I wanted to bring to you guys today. Not much has changed since what we talked about a few days ago, but I do want to let you know that things are actually starting to flip somewhat bullish. We are starting to put in an uptrend. I'm totally okay if we pull back. Like I said, if we pull back to this level and have a bounce back, even if we go back down to 37,000, I'm still not going to get bearish. I think that would actually be a very healthy retest. I would rather do that than have a straight shot, to 45,000, 50,000, because then we're just going to have another major crash again, right? So that's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you like content like this, smash the like. Definitely get subscribed if you haven't. And make sure if you are looking to trade, like I said, start with a paper account first. Try it out with no money so you guys can get used to trading, okay? Leverage is a great tool, but it can also be quite destructive if you are just kind of hopping into trades and not really learning what you're doing with the chart. So definitely get subscribed, watch this channel. I do show you a lot of the levels that I'm looking at. And if you are interested in learning how to trade, Bybit is definitely my go-to for Bitcoin. And there's a lot of altcoins available on Femex as well. For right now, there's $4,000 plus the $1,000 bonus plus 50% on Prime XBT if you're interested. But check out these videos right now if you haven't. And until next time, guys, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.